Going back to Elliott, said David Lowe, and possible sale, and all the other players that are on the fringe, like Doak, does this seem just like a flash sale that would impact the depth of the squad this season? So, on this one, David, I would say my reading of this would be this is Arne Slot having assessed the squad. And what we'd seen over the course of this season was that Harvey was unlucky at the start of the season when he picked up an injury, and he probably would have gotten opportunities. Jones kind of took those opportunities and progressed and showed that he's more suited to the style. So I feel like this is Arne Slot just kind of drawing a line under certain players that maybe he doesn't think is going to suit his style moving forward. And also, actually I'll read this out to you because this I think ties it all together. This piece here said, again from the iNewspaper, that Anfield insiders have been highly impressed by Arne Slot and are convinced he will join the small band of coaches considered elite in the coming years. Now he needs to be repaid with reinforcements and re-signed contracts. So I think Slot has won over the higher ups at Liverpool in this first season, about to win the league. So I think he's gained a bit more credibility to make these longer term decisions. So if Arne Slot had to come in this season and let's say we finished 5th, he probably wouldn't have had as much sway on these type of situations. But now that it looks like he's building and he can be trusted to build for future success, I think he probably gets more of a say around who he doesn't think will fit that future project. So for me, that's the way I'm looking at it. But just my input on it, David. So feel free to let me know if you agree or disagree with that one. Mark Bell said, I'd sell Jones before I sold Elliott. I would have agreed with you last year, and I don't want to sell Elliott, but I got to give Jones his props. I'm not saying he's become the best player in the world, but I'm certainly more comfortable with Curtis Jones' role under Arne Slot and the way we play than I would have been under Jurgen. I still think there are things with Curtis Jones that he needs to work on, like releasing the ball a little bit quicker, but he's come on this season, and I want to give credit where it's due. Has Jones won you over this season? He's pretty close to it, yeah. Like, for the first time with him as a senior player this year, I feel like he merits the place in that squad, and probably the 4th midfielder on the list after what we'd all consider the starting midfielders, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister. I would say that Jones has certainly impressed me enough that there's still a drop off between him and a Maka or him and a Szoboszlai, but certainly I feel like he's improved this season, and I think it's right that we credit that. David Lowe said, totally agree with your assessment of Slot drawing the line of the players who don't fit his style. Pity though when we have players like Elliott who not local but wants to play for the Reds. Are you listening, Trent? Look, I love Harvey Elliott, and I would love him to stay. I think he's got a credible attitude. He loves Liverpool as much as we all do. He seems like a really good young man, and I've only ever been impressed with the way he carries himself. But if it's not my decision, it's Arne's decision, and if Arne decides that he doesn't see a future there, then look, I think honesty in these situations is the best way forward. Be honest with the player and move on. Sometimes that happens in football. I find this weird, and let me know if you think this is weird, right? So this report said an unnamed sporting director spoke about Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards and said they're the best. Their combined contacts, knowledge and expertise is elite, so I'd be surprised if there wasn't a sustainable plan in motion at Liverpool. Whatever we see on the outside, experience suggests you should trust the process. So I find this a little bit weird because Edwards, yes, I do have faith that Edwards knows what he's about when it comes to spotting a player, bringing in a player, getting deals in place. But we've no history of Richard Hughes here so far. Yes, what he's done at Bournemouth, some of those signings are impressive, but I don't understand how everybody can be overly praising of him so far when he hasn't really had much to do or hasn't really done much. Yes, he was part of bringing Arne to the club and very grateful for that, but again, it just feels like there's so much positive PR around the higher ups at the club, but without the actual work being done. We can talk about this situation at the end of the summer window and give them all the praise in the world if they get the jobs done, but why is it there's just so much blowing of smoke up their arses when nothing has been done yet? Jeremy said they have a PR machine. They do. And lots of the club's PR is done by the journalists who, I'm not even going to mention the names anymore, because these little precious flowers are so sensitive that even if I mention their name now, I have to worry about them running off to the police. And that's not even a fucking joke. So I'm not even going to say their names anymore. But let's just say that there's enough of the journalists covering the Liverpool patch who are the PR machine for the club and those at the club, that they probably don't even need to hire outside influencers. Just keep all of these lads on side.